Hello, everybody. I just came home from watching Deadpool and Wolverine, and oh my god, I'm so excited to talk about this film. Now, first, thank you to Sociedad Integrada for inviting me to the screening of this movie. Now, in Deadpool and Wolverine, we are following Wade Wilson, who has now given up the superhero lifestyle. He's decided to live a calm and simple life as a car salesman when out of nowhere the TVA came knocking on his door, telling him he's become Marvel Jesus. This would put Wade Wilson on a path to have a team up with Wolverine, and many fans hoping it'll be the film to save the MCU. And that's pretty much all I can say without giving any spoilers of this film. There will be no spoilers in here. And oh my god, when I said stay away from spoilers, eh, after watching this video, just go and don't seek any more YouTube on social media after you seen the movie, because there are some surprises, and this is a movie a lot of us were eagerly anticipating ever since the first Deadpool movie came out. There's been some small jokes putting Deadpool and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, maybe someday cloning up together. And I think that the first two Deadpool movies are very well done, super funny, and I could just take 10 million Deadpool films, but I never in a million years think we will get a film titled Deadpool and Wolverine. Now, sadly, true, this is at a time where there's a lot more negative attention on the MCU. People thinking that they lost their way. There's no way this movie can be good because Marvel doesn't know how to make movies now. Or those same people will say, no, this will be the movie to bring them back, and Deadpool will be Marvel Jesus. Honestly, I was just thinking there's just no way this movie could meet up the high levels it's anticipating, it's built up. It's just going to let me down either way. After seeing this movie, there is no hype level that this movie cannot reach. I really had to put it this way, but I'm being honest here with you guys. There's no such thing as being overhyped for this movie, because you are going to be shocked at what it provides you. Deadpool and Wolverine exceeded all my wild expectations. Guys, this film I cannot wait to see 10 times over. It's everything and more that the fans are expecting from it. Like, we thought they were really starting to give away such major spoilers and things in the trailers. No, there are so many surprises from beginning of the movie to the middle of the movie to the very end. And it's a film chock of stuff that the fans are just going to eat up. And part of me thought, is that all this movie is going to be? Because admittedly, that start was off. No, 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 no. That is not the case with Deadpool and Wolverine. Whatever hype level you have, Deadpool and Wolverine is going to shut to it. And I was like, there's no way. Oh my goodness, it's all happening. Let me get into the insanely positive stuff. Anyone who was director Sean Levi, in fact, if I'm being honest, I was one of them. I enjoy movies like Real Steel and Free Guy, but when I heard his name attached to Deadpool and Wolverine, I wish I was jumping up and down, but I was doubting him. And I was like, I don't know if he can really deliver what I would want for a big finale, especially with two stars like Deadpool and Wolverine. But Sean Levy proved me that he had a sauce that I wasn't aware of. I was blown away by the action sequences in here. They're all super well done, nicely choreographed. Not just that, but like the opening fight scene that just get in this movie with the opening credits. It is up there with the hilarious and amazing opening credits of the first Deadpool movie. And if you remember that feeling you got watching the opening credit of that first Deadpool film, that's a high bar. But it does here. That energy, you really live that energy. It's a fun ride from beginning to end. Sean Levy has a really good eye for those rated R crazy action sequences. There are a lot of great moments in here, a lot of Deadpool and Wolverine, and this is really the funniest NCU film. And that's one thing that sometimes gets heavily criticized in the NCU is the humor, the way it goes about it. But now that Deadpool is in here, where it is the self parody humor is that make fun of Marvel humor along with every other cast member in there. This movie had me in stitches. It was very funny, and the four war mega jokes in here had me surprised at times. They were not pulling any punches here. You cannot tell me Disney was in there saying you can't really say that, or that is going a little too far. No, there's plenty of rated R jokes in here where you like, yeah, that's classic Deadpool humor. One of my biggest positive things that I was kind of most surprised about this film is the way it does what you kind of wanted to, which is cameos and Easter eggs and things that comic book fans wants to see. All of the stuff. There's like, oh, of course you like that. You got your brain rotten. Of course, little cameo is going to make you give the movie 10 out of 10, and it's got all you want. If anything, it's got what you were hoping that the strange multiverse of madness was going to be. You know, a cameo face, multiverse hopping, stuff like that. This movie has that, but then it seamlessly transitions into a genuine, sweet, and emotional story. That's one of the underrated things that the Deadpool franchise has done really well. Whether you go back to the cancer study in the first Deadpool and Deadpool losing the love of his life, Vanessa in the second movie, when there is serious moments, emotional beats, they find a way to actually take them seriously. Who would have thought that that's something possible? And something I think Marvel does lose along the way. They can never have a serious grounded moment without having that sentence and that punchline, or having that sentence without some sort of explosion to distract you. And it's like, let us breathe into those dark, serious moments. And Deadpool and Wolverine have that. Deadpool is dealing with a lot in this movie, not wanting to be a superhero. The relationship with the love of his life is not going so well. And not just him, Wolverine Hugh Jackman's. I'm not going to say that the performance or the acting is up there with the level of Logan, but Hugh Jackman's Wolverine gets a couple of moments, a couple of speeches, very hard in your face, insane speeches. I was not expecting that really up some serious weight to the movie that I was loving. There's one point in the movie where Wolverine just goes off on Deadpool, and the things Wolverine says in his speech jaw to the ground. That's one of the things they handle perfectly in this movie is the weird dynamic between Deadpool and Wolverine. Because I thought you think, oh, they're just going to get along for the sake of the mission. No, there's a lot of butting heads. There's plenty of fight scenes between the two of them, and very well choreographed. Again, thanks to director Sean Levy and his team. But man, the way the relationship grows throughout the course of the movie, you just hope to get another time where you can see those two at it again. And touching upon the villain here, Cassandra Nova, played by Emma Corrin, she was pretty menacing. She was a great threat. Her powers were pretty scary, and she's got this really weird and way to reading your mind and it just really grows on screen, but so cool. She's not going to be like the best NCU villain, but she will definitely be a memorable one. She'll be like, yeah, that was a really intimidating villain. And before I get to my negatives, when it comes down to it, I think most of the fans are going to be extremely happy with this movie. I think you have to be really grumpy or just a pure NCU hater to walk away from this with a frown on your face. There's no way you walk out of this movie just having a gigantic smile on your face and feeling like, whoa, that was so much fun. That's what this really is. This is a really a fun movie and it really delivers on the hype and everything else. And my favorite thing about Deadpool and Wolverine is that this movie was just a really nice tribute to the first era of Marvel movies. We kind of got a sense of that, and we were hoping where we saw the 20th Century Fox logo in the void, but with everything that happens in this film, is overall theme. This is just one of those movies there's kind of a like No Way Home, where that was a celebration of the previous Spider-Man films and bringing those Spider people. This movie really does that for the first era of Marvel movies. And I think it does that really well. But okay, getting on to some of the negatives, I think they could have done a little bit better. First, the pacing is lightning fast. I'm not going to lie, I did like that for the first 20 to 30 minutes, so much going on. No wonder that they were showing those to the fan screening before they finally show the full movie. There is so much jumping story to story point, reviews and cameo and Easter eggs, but I, it does feel like it's so lightning fast. You don't really get to take in those moments and breathe in. It just cameos, Easter egg, nostalgia theme, and that's a dangerous game because then the movie could have easily come out as a fanboy lazy dream. But it's those emotional story and then taking the more darker and serious moments of this film actually serious that really helps it stand apart from just being like a cheap film. It's seconds of the story that I think don't just flow well one point to the next. There's like one or two scenes that just feel like, oh, we're just leading into the action sequences. We're not naturally progressing the story. We're just doing a thing. We know it's going to be crazy bombastic fan service moment, but it's the emotional and dramatic and meaningful moments that really balance out everything else. And I love that. Also, the soundtrack aspect is going to be something that will be hit or miss for some people. The way Deadpool and Wolverine goes about the soundtrack in this movie is widely different than the way it was done in the other films. Here is very in your face, and we're going to get along with the beats. And I was actually a big fan of that. I really dug the soundtrack here. But that's about it, my friends. Those are like my minor small nitpicks. I'm not afraid to say I was all in and drilling all over the story, Easter eggs, cameos, and references in here. But like I said, the story is still feeling serious. And that's just kind of the tone I would like Marvel to take more in the other movies. This to me did not ruin the Hugh Jackman's legacy as the Wolverine. It builds on top of it, and the Deadpool trilogy is now one of the most perfect comic book movies out there. And I'm so excited to see this film again. Honestly, go and see this film on a premium screen. It's the best way to see it, and with a crowd. I think that it's going to be the energy in the room, the reactions, and the moments is going to be something really special, like Avengers Endgame and Spider-Man No Way Home. Those type of same level of reactions and just pure energy moments, they will be very memorable on the MCU. So, uh, thank you to Sociedad Integrada for inviting me to the screening of this movie. So, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, consider subscribing to the channel, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.